stand tall, hold your ground. You just stand tall, hold your ground, and you just weather it out. Stand tall, hold your ground, and weather it out. This is for my fellows that have to go through their depression cycles. Like, if you know you've ever had depression, you've gone through bouts of depression, you know they come in cycles. Like, you could be doing good for a while, you know, then out of nowhere one day you just wake up and you're just like, bro, here we go again. That heavy mood you got, you know, you feel this heavy mood or just heavy weight pulling you down. You have the mind just going crazy and just trying to pull you under, you know, and sometimes it's like difficult to weather it, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just like this shit's pulling you so fucking hard, bro. Throwing all kind of thoughts, all kind of doubts in your head, man. You know, bringing up all these past failures and, you know, just this saying, oh, you're just gonna lose. Hey, you fucking, you know, there's nothing you can do. All that, man. You gotta stand tall and weather your ground through it, because it always passes. Sometimes they're harder than others, bro. Some days, like, the bouts are harder than others, man. They really, like, it's like really something inside you, like, that you didn't choose it, you know. This shit comes from, like, it comes from past experiences. It comes from, like, you know, just like sometimes you have, like, you know, a bad family, you know, like you have people around you who are, like, you know, have their own issues and they project them onto you. You know, it usually comes, like, I don't know how depression works for other people, but for me, it's just things that stem from, like, a very young age. And it's just like, you know, your mind is still very malleable when you're a child. And then those patterns that get put in your head, like, stick with you. You know, I'm in my mid-30s now. I'll be 34 next month. But, you know, I mean, for me, the thing I always remind myself is that shit ain't me, bro. I know it's not. That's why I keep going. Because if I thought that was me, yeah, I would quit a long time ago. But, you know, I know that deep down, it ain't me. It's just like this programming. You know, you got people like you, like, grew up around that have their own doubts and fears, and they see something in you and they, like, we can't let you come up. It's like a crab in a bucket mentality, and they'll project at you. You know, you know, they'll project all that shit at you. And then you got, it sucks because it's like, that wasn't your fault, but it's your responsibility as a grown adult. You know, you have to find a way forward. And sometimes it's not easy, and you'll be in your head being like, man, this isn't fair, bro. This isn't fair. I didn't ask for this. You know, I didn't ask for this shit, you know, but that's what God given to you, you know. And, like, I'm always the kind of person, man, it's for a reason, you know. For me, it strengthened me up a lot and helped me cope with issues a lot easier. Like, as far as anything happening outside of me, man, like, it just, I could say it doesn't faze me all that much. You know, it's not fun going through, like, bad situations, but it doesn't faze me all so much. It's the internal thing. It's that internal dialogue that isn't you that's spinning around. That's what makes it feel terrible. It's just the internal dialogue. It's not so much like, oh, it was 2023. I had my clean classic Ford pickup truck. It got totaled, bro. Like, I spent a lot of money on that truck. It was worth a lot. It got totaled, dude. It didn't faze me that much, you know. I was just like, you know, it sucks, but it's just a truck. It was gone. I was like, okay. But it's just the internal things, like oh, you're not good enough, or, you know, you're doing something wrong, you know, or you're always gonna fail, man. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, like, you're gonna fail, you know. And that's just all the voices, and that's all the self-doubt from this world that was never yours, that got put into you by people who are already, like, feeling, like, you know, low about themselves, just projecting onto you, man. And, you know, certain people, you know, they deal with it more, man. Like, I don't like that term. People use, like, chosen one. I don't like that chosen one, all that shit. But, you know, hey, I'll say this, you know, like, God just choose certain people, man, like, for whatever fucking reason, dude, to just, like, I don't know, battle test your strength or something. Who knows? But all I'm saying is, like, dude, like, acknowledge that, like, all that shit that got put in you, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault. There's nothing you could do about that. That's just the cards you got dealt. But at the same time, it's your responsibility to weather through that and to get out to the other side, man, and to know that's not you. It's not, man. I'm telling you, it's not you. You've seen glimpses of yourself where you're really aligned, you're really like going, man, you're aligned, and you see how easy life flows for you, man. The mind quiets down, gets out of your way. You've seen it before. I know y'all seen it before, bro. I know y'all seen it. You know, that's what keeps you going, because you know, like, you know, there's something got put inside of me that's not me, man. It's the doubts and fears and projections of people who didn't feel good about themselves, and they couldn't stand to see someone who had like so much life potential like come up that they're like, we can't let that happen. You know, so no, first and foremost, that's not you, man. It's not. We could get past this shit, dude. It's not you, man. That shit projected, dog. You know, like I said, I've gone through bouts of depression since I was about 12 years old. You know, I've been going through these little loops. Sometimes you go months at a time, bro, and you're just like, you're empowered, you feel good. Sometimes it's just, you'd be lucky to get a couple hours of the day where you just kind of be at peace, and then, you know, the mind starts spinning around and throwing all this shit out here and trying to get you to like follow the hamster wheel. Don't follow it, man. Just hold your ground. Hold your ground, bro. We'll pass, but you gotta hold your ground. You can't get swept up in the thoughts and start being like arguing with yourself, man. That's not you, bro. That's just the mind. You know, don't get caught up into those. Just don't get caught up into them. Just look at them, acknowledge like, hey, you know, the mind's just spinning around in circles, bro. It's spinning around in circles, just throwing all these doubts and fears, all this shit. You're gonna be alone forever. You're not fucking good enough. Oh, nothing's changed and it never will. Look, check this out, bro. Like, the thing about life is change. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And the paradox is, you know, the mind doesn't like change. So even if you're like, let's say you've like dealt with depression, you've dealt with like, you know, gaslighting and more mental abuse. Physical abuse ain't shit, bro. It's the mental abuse that's bad, you know, but the mental abuse, bro. And it's just like, the mind doesn't like change. So it'll try to keep you in that same like loop, because even though the mind doesn't like it, it doesn't like fucking change. So that's the paradox about it, right? That's the fucking paradox, dude. You gotta get up, you know, first get up. You got out of bed, cool. You didn't feel like driving to work today, but you got up and you drove to work. You've already won. You're already 90% there. You know, the mind wants you to feel negative about everything and wants to be resentful and bitter, but you said, no, I choose not to be like that. You've already won. You know, so have that, knowing that already, and just like let the cycle just go run its course. It will run its course, you know. Maybe you shed a tear or something, bro. Maybe you would go to, you know, close the windows of your car and just go fucking scream for a second, whatever, man. But I'll tell you right now, man, don't give up. Don't give up. It gets easier and easier. Even like, as for myself, my bouts, the bouts I get aren't like how they used to be. Like, they're just not how they used to be. They used to be way worse, bro. And they used to last months, like months. We're drinking enough water too to stay hydrated. When your brain gets dehydrated, you know, you start losing cognitive function, and it also like heightens your depression. I noticed that, so I drink a lot of water. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but you know, hey, that's just my theory on that. But keep going, keep fucking going, man. Keep going, man. You can't turn the car around now. Look how far you came. How are you gonna turn the car around? How are you gonna go backwards and back to the same cycle? No, you ain't turn the car around. Look how far you came. Some of y'all probably went through like a profound spiritual awakening, where you started even realizing that, you know, things I'm saying, like how I keep saying like the mind does this and that, because you're not the mind. That's the whole thing about this. And when you go on, like I said, a lot of you probably been like on a spiritual awakening, and the essence of a spiritual awakening is knowing that you're not the mind or your thoughts. Knowing that the mind has no central command center. It just throws up old memories and tries to build a character, which we call an ego, right? And that's who we think we are. We're not. That's what that is. And the more you deepen on the spiritual awakening, the more the mind wants to pull you in, because it wants to stay in control. And it's not because it's bad. It's just that's how the mind works. You know, it's programmed to seek comfort. It's programmed to keep you in the same familiar pattern even if it's bad, even if it's bad or something unfavorable, it's known. So I want to keep you there because it likes things to stay the same and predictable. Break that shit. Like, straight up break that shit. Obviously, I'm making this video because, hey, I woke up today, you know, and I'm just like, man, you just feel that pull. And, you know, like, I've just been on my drive, and, you know, it'll happen, so I'll come right back. I'm like, nah, y'all ain't laying down, bro. No laying down, man. Sometimes you gotta take a break, but you can't lay down, bro. You ride it. You keep going, man. You get through it. Let it come and let it go. Don't question any of the, you know, well, you can. I particularly don't question it because it's just fake. So why am I questioning all those thoughts and those patterns? It's not real. They're just basically memories and thoughts and patterns. They're not real. So I don't really feel like it's a good idea to question something that isn't real, because then you give it power. But you just know that, hey, that cycle will just pass through, man. And you go a little higher every time this shit happens. Every time, bro, you just go a little bit higher, because, you know, the mind's trying to pull you back down into familiarity, and you choose not to. And you choose, like, no, I choose peace. I choose not to be depressed. I'm not gonna roll with that. I ain't rolling with that. It ain't me. You know, and you keep going, and you just keep going, and you keep going, bro. You keep going. You keep going, man. That's how you do it. You know, don't listen to the mind, especially especially if you grew up and you dealt with a lot of like emotional abuse and like gaslighting and shit like that, particularly from family. Because I'm talking specifically from family, because it's one thing for, you know, just people out here that like, but it's different when it's coming from your own family. You know, you acknowledge it, like, hey, that wasn't your fault. You know, you gotta let it go. You can't be mad at the people who did it, because they were broken, bro, and they wanted you to be broken as well. But, you know, you keep going, man. You get up, you know, you roll through the little negative cycles, man, and you let it pass. And then it passes, bro, and you go a little bit higher. So that's my thoughts on that. You know, hey, keep going, stay strong. You know, don't let the mind pull you back into these patterns. You know, just watch them and just know, like, hey, that shit's an illusion, man. And that'll pass, and everything changes, bro. Everything changes. It's the mind that resists the change. So just keep going, man, and don't let the mind drag you down and make you feel like you're worthless or something, or that you're always doing something wrong, or you're always gonna fail. No, you're not. It's bullshit. But yeah, keep going. Peace.